on it. Are we doing this view, Stevie P?
Yeah, do this one. It's nicer.
We could do this one. Yeah, but President likes us to move around, How about this one? No, when you talk, if you could change as soon as everybody talks and go from over here and go from over here. Good times. What's happening, guys? What's happening? Everybody's patiently waiting. Liban Youssef, Compadre Vaz, Brother Milan, Gigi La Patat, Facebook Frank, Larry, Edwin Ortega, been a while. Guys, good evening. And yes, we do have lots to talk about today. So you want to keep it here, Steve, or you want to keep, I don't know, like here's like...
Keep it like that. It's nice.
Keep it like this. Buonasera, David. Buonasera. All right. Are you ready, Steve?
Of course.
All right. Keep it like this. Buonasera, David. Buonasera. Oh, what am I doing? All right. What am I doing? I was clicking on the thing. All right. Here we go. This is for Zvanko. And even though I was going to do it, per il gran maestro. And see, il buono, il cattivo. Because we did lose a great one, Steve. I don't know if you're very familiar with Ennio Morricone. Cari amici sportivi, welcome yet to another edition of the Milan Weekly Podcast. Here where we talk everything in Milan, a resurgent Milan, a clickbait Milan, as we've seen today. And well, we're not professionals.
Nor do we pretend to be.
And yes, we're starting off. Thank you to Zvanko for actually requesting this. But yes, I did want to start off with nice Ennio Morricone music that grew up with his music. And little story, Steve, he had made a concert in New York maybe 6-7 years ago. I bought tickets watching him live in concert. Unfortunately, he fell ill. He had to cancel. But, lost somebody supposedly from a fall. And if you guys do not know him, guys, please go check out Ennio Morricone. But today it's all about Milan. Guys, last time we spoke to you, we've had Spal. Yes, we've had Lazio. We have Juventus tomorrow. But, guys, first of all, Steve, how are you?
I am very good.
Steve is wearing his polo that he started coaching. Are you coaching, Steve? Is this like your official coaching polo?
I've always been coaching.
You always been coaching, but are you like a Ragnik? Are you un dottore? Are you the assistant coach?
No,
coach,
I'm
direttore sportivo?
Just the coach.
You're just the coach. Just the coach. Guys, let's talk very quickly about Milan Spal. Guys, we have a lot of questions. Feel free to interact. I love you guys. We have Akbar, I believe, is from Russia. I gotta love like all this, this interaction with all these people. I actually even spoke to Milan Club Morocco, Steve. That's going to be up on the next Milanismo Worldwide. But Steve, let's go very quickly against Spal. Wow. Okay, so I know you had a chance to speak on other podcasts, and you're saying, like, was this written in the stars for us? Like, what did you think about that game there? It's like, it's typical Milan, right? It's like we're walking into this game, we're feeling confident, and then it's like, yeah, but we're playing Spal. I don't know your feelings about the game. Were you, I don't know if you broke any tables, or you were just like, oh, another day at the office.
No, I didn't break any tables, but look, if the circumstances were different, I think I would have been probably a little bit more pissed off. For me, I took it at the end of the game. I took it glass half full, especially with this Milan. We've talked about it numerous times on the podcast, where now we have to see whether we have that mentality to pull out results even when we're not playing at our best. And obviously against Spal, we did not play at our best, and we were asleep 2 times, and 2 times Spal scored.
The only two
Uh,
times, right? Because we took what 38 shots on goal, or it just didn't make any sense. But
Yeah, that was a bit of a problem for me there, Vinny. I saw the number of shots, but if you notice the amount of shots that did not hit the frame of the net,
yeah,
that's
that's true.
pretty much why we ended up at 2-2, right? But look, guys, this Milan back in the past would have lost this game and would have dropped 3 points. We ended up picking up a point on everybody, right? Napoli lost, Hellas Verona, I think they lost too. It would have been nice to pick up 3 points, but in the end, we have to be real with ourselves. The ultimate goal for Milan was Champions League, and we're not catching that fourth spot. So now
Exactly.
it's the time to take every game for what it is, right? I wasn't too happy with the performance of Spal, but the coming back from 2-0 down, as lucky as it may be, it happens to all the other teams. All the other teams have dropped points. If we start looking at where other teams have dropped points, I'm pretty sure Lazio is gonna say that they dropped 3 points against Milan because they're
Mm,
almost 22 points away from us.
exactly.
Inter dropping points against Bologna. That's that's dropping points, right? So
Definitely.
there's peaks and valleys to the season. You can't look at it. Sometimes we catch ourselves table watching and we get caught up in this whole thing. You have to take it for what it is. It was a shit performance away, and hey, you know what? We pulled out a point. Is it disappointing that we didn't get 3 points? Yes, but we pulled out a point.
But in the end, right? And sorry, Akbar. I think we did have somebody from Russia named like you, but he's from Jersey. Love it. But in the end, Steve, and that was the whole conversation we're having. If I was gonna tell you, Steve, Lecce, Roma, Spal. By the way, who's Fab? Who Ragnick is just got confirmed by. Anyways, if I would have told you, Steve, Lecce, Spal, Roma, 7 points out of 9, you would have taken that, no?
Of course, you have to take out you have to take the points. You want always maximum points, but
We
unfortunately,
would
it
have
doesn't.
taken it, right?
Exactly, and it doesn't work like that all the time. And unfortunately, we lost points against Spal, but okay, Lazio was a little bit short-handed. They were missing. They had no strikers, and that's not our fault. We're just playing the game that we're dealt, right? And we're dealt a short-handed Lazio, and we came out with 3 points, and that's all you can ask for.
Speaking of Lazio, Steve, I we had a nice cousin get together on Saturday. I'm sitting by the pool. I had my laptop, my speaker, and all of a sudden, my cousin Johnny's looking at me. He's like, "What did you just? Who scored?" And I'm like, yes, Çalhanoğlu scored. And then we're like trying to. I know, look, it took a deflection. It's impossible it went in that. But I don't know, Steve. Since the break, the COVID break and everything, I can't trash on the guy too much. He's been having more moments of brilliance than brain farts, but we just completely dominated Lazio. Lazio was nowhere to be seen on that game, were they not?
No, that was a disappointing Lazio. I think Inzaghi was overthinking things, and to his defense, again, yes, I would like to see that type of Milan performance when Lazio's full strength, because Twitter went crazy, right? But Lazio's missing everybody, right? But that's not the point, guys. The point here is that's the best Milan that I've seen since we beat Atalanta away last year.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. And people want to talk, yeah, but we weren't Immobile wasn't a full strength. But I'm like, but that's if you're in second place, you shouldn't be coming out with those excuses playing a subpar Milan. So in the end, like even Ibra's penalty, right? It was written in the stars. As soon as you saw that ball go in, it's like, okay, like it's just not gonna go their way. And a couple of brain farts here and there from sausage makers, but in the end,
Yeah.
for whatever mistakes we made, right? We did not pay for our mistakes, and I want to talk about, because I know that you tweeted out and talking about I don't know who was on the chat talking about Kessie. Steve, you put in perfect wording, is that when he's left to do what he's supposed to do, and can I go out on a limb and say it's because it's Benacer? Is it because of the pairing with Benacer that it's like he's able to, like, recuperate those balls, and he's not he doesn't feel pressure to come up and try to attack where he's leaving behind. I don't know, like, I just find that when people were trashing on Kessie a few months back, and oh yeah, we should get rid of him and this and that, and I don't understand where these things, people that said that we were anti Frank, we were always team Frank on this podcast, but wow, what a great performance, and lovely to see. Even Steve Benacer, no yellow cards once again. I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know, but let me take me through. Where did you watch the game? Watched at home?
Watching it at home, and I see David on the comment saying Chananobulu MVP since the restart. I'm going to respectfully disagree. Silent Frank Kessie has been the MVP since the restart. He's played multiple full games. He's gotten subbed out maybe once. Hasn't picked up any stupid yellow cards, done his job, recuperating balls, helping Benacer, just concentrate on being Benacer. And I think maybe that's what's maybe helping and contributing to Benacer not getting yellow cards, or he's not running around the field trying to recuperate balls. Look, Chananobulu, that was a fantastic goal, but that's the Chananobulu that we need and what we wanted to get when we signed him. Unfortunately, he shows up, and this is going to be the second or maybe third year in a row, Vinny, you correct me if I'm wrong, where he shows up the last 7 games of the season. The last 7 games of the season, to be very honest, we're out. We're out of a Champions League spot. We're out of these big games. We're not that there's nothing left to play for. It shows into the way I look at it, Vinny, is in terms of mentality. These are not, they're important games. Yes, there is pressure, but there's a little bit less pressure, right? You're not fighting for a Champions League. We're in that zone of 8, 7, 6, 5. Where other teams are playing either as bad or as good depending on the week, and Chanalobulu seems like that's where he thrives, right? And unfortunately, as the number 10 of Milan, we need you in the bigger games, man. We don't need you. We don't need you to show up the last 7 games of the season to say, "Oh, let's confirm him again for next year," right? So the Lazio game, Vinny. Look, again, I was very happy, right? And I, at a certain point, I was just with my hands on my head, and Sandy, my wife's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah." I said, "I just can't believe that they're playing well, and nothing has gone wrong yet." Usually something would have went wrong, right? And imagine even 3-1 or letting Lazio score, which they had no reason to score because I think Donnarumma was on vacation, didn't really get tested a lot. The 3-0 was exactly that, a staple. Look, this team has some potential. They do have some good players. Just the mentality has to be there, right? And the mentality needs to continue.
Exactly.
Sausage, you want to go with the sausage maker, right? Yeah. Look, against Spal, I have to say I was disappointed. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, a great game," like.
Yeah, I don't see where they see like these great performances.
I didn't see that great game against Spal. The game before, I did see a good game against Spal. I was a little bit disappointed. I found he regressed a little. Yes, he
not
comes
trashing on his game, but no. I don't know where this praise is coming from for Sausage Maker. Where even against Lazio, I was watching, and there was a couple of crosses. Like, holy shit, who's taking these? Honda? And I'm not, but I'm just referring to this. Oh my God, says Sausage Maker, we have to sign him, and it's like, have we gone this low in expectancy? And I'm like, okay, so once we see a guy give us a bit of flair and a bit of, am I saying this guy has potential? Of course, he's got maybe potential, but I don't see where this whole praise, this is my personal opinion, but definitely a lot of room to grow. And on the other side, Steve, for a guy that's never played in Serie A and just came from the Belgium league, he's been doing quite well. I just don't know where this high praise is coming from him. That's all.
Yeah, it's just manage your expectations with these guys, and I will give him something. There's no ball that he will not chase down. It's two games now that he saves a ball from going out, even though against Lazio that was going to probably be called back with VAR because it did go out, and he creates a chance from there, right? So
Yeah.
I think that that's where he gains the respect from everybody and from me too, right? He's he has that will, he has that effort, that extra gear that we didn't see sometimes, you know. And I see people on the thing they're commenting, guys, Suso and Salzmaker are two different players, guys. They're not. You cannot compare them. You cannot put them in the same realm. They don't. They have two completely different games. Suso was Suso on the offensive side. He was gonna always be a defensive liability, but this guy here, Salzmaker, he's gonna he's gonna put in that defensive effort, right? But we lose on the offensive side, guys. Let's call it what it is. He has room to grow, like you said, Vinny, but uh, I'm a little bit skeptical on jumping on these guys after one or two quick games
Yeah.
and giving them that praise, right? So we have to be 100%.
Steve, how about a little chapeau for me? How about Paqueta? I still don't understand why they didn't make him start. I know Castillo got hurt, Paqueta came in, but I have nothing. Let's just put all his performances before the break. There was a lot more bad than good, right? I never had
Yeah,
really the opportunity to play, but holy shit, I have nothing bad to say. Like he's been playing whenever he's risked with, you know what, the consequence is not that bad. Like he's and to me, like it just seems a lot more composed. Does not have those facials of frustrations. But for me, it's like, and again, if we have to believe tomorrow's starting lineup that Bonaventura again is starting, and I still don't get it, guys. Bonaventura is leaving, not staying with us. I still don't understand why we're keeping him, putting him on. Like, no offense to Jack, but how about Paqueta, Steve? Any comments about him?
yeah, I thought he was good. I thought the minutes that he played, he put in a lot of effort. He put in a lot of hard work. He's got to be more clinical, man. He needs to look. Edwin is reading
Yeah,
my mind, man. He's got to get a little bit more power. He's got to. Seems like he loses strength. He puts in so much effort from that. Let's say past the halfway point to the final third. That when he gets to the final third, if he does have a scoring opportunity, he's maybe overthinking it, or he's not confident. He doesn't have that confidence yet. But it seems like that ball is either dribbling down to the goaler, or it's not testing him at all, and that's a problem, right? Because if you're going to be lying back behind those two strikers, when we do play two strikers, we need you to be either providing assists or like Jack has been doing, to be very honest, you pouncing on those free balls in the box, right? And I think
yeah.
that's why Jack continues to get the start, because he's opportunistic. Yes, he's lost a level or two in regards to speed. And again, we can't repeat it enough. Right now, everybody is auditioning for a job, right? And yeah, I hope maybe someone can give us the tweet that's been tweeting out there. I see the comments, Ragnick being confirmed now. I don't know how he gets confirmed at like 4 o'clock in the morning there, but hey, maybe people don't sleep. But
I don't know. Like keeps on saying like me. I always go to sports meet, but guys, until it's official or something else, like Clubbers Mentici again. It's like, and you know what? Let's go with this. I don't want to talk about this story, Steve. I want to talk about uh, once again, every single time some sort of big game. Right, we're playing Juventus tomorrow. A lot of us are believing, right? Maybe hopelessly believing, but we're Milanistas who want to believe, and because but Dybala is not playing, and Delict is not playing, so you guys have a chance. This is what you have to hear from Juventinis, but
that's not my
um,
problem. That's
exactly.
absolutely not my problem.
I don't give a shit. But why is it that I think, Steve, you've given many indigestions? Who the fuck is running this PR team? Or you know what, Steve? What I was thinking today. There's a fucking mole. There's a rat. There's a rat at Milan, right? That's been talking way too fucking much. Why are these stories never come out of any other teams in Serie A? Why? Why
Um,
is nobody talk about Juventus being 400 million in the hole? Why does nobody talk about that shit? They got to talk about the possible coach and it's not. I'm telling you, Steve, there's a fucking rat at Milan.
I don't even know what to say anymore.
It,
I'm exhausted with this whole story. I find it's unprofessional. I find it's really something that Milan, in terms of an organization, should wrap their hands around it and say, this has to stop. This has to stop. Whether it's getting rid of everybody completely, and I'm sympathetic to people that make a living off the club and are working for these things, but PR is something very important, especially when you're a club that doesn't really have an owner, but they have a fund behind them that's trying to sell it, right? So this doesn't look good.
no,
Uh,
it doesn't look fucking good. And brother Milan saying Billy is the rat. But Facebook Frank makes a point. Whether they're true rumors or not, until there's something fucking official, I'm not believing shit. So, and guys, stop 2 seconds and think: why would Milan, on a good run, decide 8 games before the end of the season, yeah, we're gonna bring in a brand new coach, where it doesn't make fucking sense, guys? And again, somebody, I'm really thinking like, sorry, who's confirming he's going to Germany? Where the fuck is Maldini going to Germany? Even you, David. I don't understand why you guys, before, just like all you fucking coronavirus, that Bill Gates is gonna put chips inside of me. Go fucking educate yourselves. Sorry, David. I love you. But in the end, in the end, right? Yes, just ignore the media. But it's just sad because I seriously think that something's going on, that somebody's actually fucking talking. But anyways, in the end, let's talk about tomorrow's game, Steve. 3:45. We're playing Juventus. If we believe who is starting tomorrow, we might see the lineup that we saw when Ibra came on before the break. Ibra, Sol striker, Rebic there with possibly Bonaventura. I don't know, Steve. What do you think? Do you think we could make something happen tomorrow?
yeah, I think they can. I think, to be very honest, with you, I'm gonna go back again. Maybe it sounds like a broken record, but I think that Spal one pointer ignited something in this team.
Hmm.
And I don't know. And I'm gonna bring up a couple of things. I'm gonna bring up Spal, the 1-1 coming back to from 2-0 down and getting a point.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna bring up at the end of the Lazio game. At the end of the Lazio game, you see Paqueta in the corner, and we're obviously trying to waste time. So we're winning 3-0, and we're in injury time, and Paqueta tries some kind of cheeky move in the corner.
Hmm.
I'm not I put myself in Lazio's position. I'll be a little bit pissed off too. I'm not condoning that, and I don't even want to talk about that because it's just a waste of my breath, because Lazio is already losing 3-0. Even if he sits on the ball, there's really not much they can do. But I get the respect kind of angle that Lazio was taking, and I think it's Parolo that took that, if I read it correctly today. But what I like is you see Theo Hernandez fly in there and
Mm-hmm.
come to the defense of Paqueta. And you see other players coming. I'm not going to name. I remember Theo Hernandez because he bleached his hair. But the other players coming in the defense, whether he's right or whether he's wrong, they
He
came to his,
defended.
they came to his defense, right? So I think that they're building some kind of solidarity and a family type of atmosphere there. It's gonna be a tough game against Juve. We're gonna be at home. We're gonna be underdogs as well. We're always underdogs, and I think that we can surprise. I think Milan is gonna be the ball
Well,
buster of the Scudetto run.
Well, Steve, we're gonna have a new coach tomorrow. That's gonna be the medical director. He's gonna be the fourth referee on the sidelines. We're gonna have there's all these news coming out. So yeah, no, I still believe in Juventus losing tomorrow or tying, because I don't know. I just have this great feeling, Steve, and we're just gonna. I believe we're gonna give Lazio that little bit of hope that maybe we can come up with a couple of more wins and give Juventus a run for their money. But we all know that Juventus is winning the Scudetto this year. But anyways, I know we're going to be talking a lot of what's going on right now. So we're going to go through these questions because
But
supposedly,
everybody,
yes,
everybody who's telling us regarding this regarding this Maldini rumor and Ragnick rumor. If
They're
you want to talk,
trolls.
no, but if you want to talk about it, it's fine. Just hashtag us at Ask Vinny and Steve live right now, and it's gonna come up, and we're gonna see the article. Right? We can't search here, guys. We can't search. We don't have an intern, so
We don't have an intern. We don't have somebody feeding us all these articles and going from. We have Presidentes sending us screenshots of Instagram questions, and then we have Twitter that we just click on the hashtag and away we go.
Look at this comment.
Stop looking ahead. These guys are drunk. Yes, definitely. I think they're. Steph.Sino, will Milan be able to keep Donnarumma? Should they keep him? I would love it if he stays. Spoke about this in the past too. I think he's gonna stay. And if he does, and if let's just put it this way, if he does not stay, we're not selling him for 40-50 million like people were talking about at the beginning of the year. No, Steve?
No. If we sell him for 40-50 million, I'm gonna be one pissed off Milan fan. Let me tell you that much.
Rossoneri 7's asking, why in the hell is Milan delaying signing Kajar? He has been nothing but brilliant. That is a very good question. He's doing his job, Steve. He's been doing his job, but I do not see him as I see him like in a Musacchio type of position where he's like our third center back at this point, but I don't see let's say a Romagnoli and Kier, as they say on the Italian channels. Do you see that pairing bringing us to Champions League one day?
Well, to be very honest, it's been the most stable we've been in a long time back there. So I'm not ashamed to say it. I was not a big fan of the signing. I think we got him a little bit too late in his career, but he's been a pleasant surprise. Let me tell you that much, man. He's matched up well with Romagnoli. I think he wins a lot of aerial duels. You see that in the box, he's commanding. He's giving Romagnoli some space and he can reach on the long ball, right? And he's stretching the field a bit, so he's doing some good stuff. Again, we just have to be careful with what we take on as this player, right? We have to remember his age. We're going to remember what he's going to want to command in terms of a salary. Does it fit in this project? And who is he going to be there to? Who's going to be there to replace in the future, right? Because he's not the long-term solution. So I think that's what they're trying to figure out. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the deadline is July 15th.
Yeah, I think so.
So July 15th to activate. So there's tons of time, guys. In the end, I don't blame Milan wanting to see it out till the end because this is something that Milan has to think about, right? So let's give them time to think about it and see if this is the right thing for Milan to do.
Dom is saying that it's been confirmed by Fabrizio Romano again. Until I see no statements. Remember that we had Tevez jerseys being made, and we had what was his name pose with the Milan jersey, and then he didn't pass his medical. And Andrei from Russia. Now Andrei from Russia is here. Now I got the
hey, we have the whole Russia. We have all of Mother Russia. I love it.
AC Milan blogger saying, start Paquetá or Bonaventura for the rest of the season. Thank you for. But he's saying Steve makes a lot of a good point that he was pouncing on those balls. But for me personally, I would probably just give that confidence to Paquetá. Steve, do you go with Bonaventura?
I go with anybody who's going to make Milan get 3 points. So it's up to Pioli. He's the manager. He's paid the big bucks. He's got to see who he has confidence in from here to the end of the season in terms of finding out, again, who's going to be here for the long term, who needs improvement. So I want Milan to win, obviously, but I need to understand where Milan stands with Paquetá. And I say Bonaventura because Pioli is going to start whoever he needs to start to win. But for me, I would like to see Paquetá get the rest of the minutes going down, and Jack making the occasional substitution into Jack for 35-40 minutes. I'm there for Jack for that. So
I don't have a problem with that. Yeah. Facebook Frank asking the possible of the Arnaud purchase. I know that there's a couple of more stories that came out this week, Steve, but. Again, Frank, it's these stories that come out of nowhere. First, they were ready to buy everything. Now this, and I just say, there's no, when there's smoke, there's fire. But it's just Thank you, Gio. Thank you for that. It's just I don't see Louis Vuitton or I don't know buying Milan, Steve. I don't know. Like, do you actually believe in anything like that? I'm sure the rumor started from somewhere, but do you think that would their main goal would be to build a successful team? To them, it's going to be to make money. Am I wrong? You're muted. You're muted.
I don't think so. It's a bit different. I think it's the fashion industry trying to get into soccer, and I think Arnaud is not at the point there. Just doing a little Google search and Wikipedia is gonna really care about a little bit of money that he's gonna make off a future sale of a sports club. This is something I think for the brand, and I think it's a smart move, right? Milan is the fashion capital of Italy, and it would be something interesting, right? It gets them into a new market, something that they don't have in their portfolio right now, and I believe it. I believe that if the interest is there, I do believe that Arnaud would try to put their hands on it because well, we see Arnaud as Louis Vuitton. We see Arnaud as all these fashion brands, but in terms of that, a bit is once you're at that level of wealth, the next thing is to take something like Milan, which is something that's almost like an antique, and make it fashionable again, right? So it will be an
Yeah.
interesting project for them.
I know, Frank, you said left out the part, but Ragnick is Ragnick. We've been talking about Ragnick. I think I just wanted to put on the Louis Vuitton. Let's take one from Andre saying he's got a question for you, Steve. How does the German pragmatic model of tactical plays and gegenpressing can be successful in Italy? If it is not Ragnick, could for example Klopp realize this handbook in Italy? That's a very good question. Taking the German kind of style and play, bringing it into Germany. Like, if Ragnick, do you think a guy like Klopp can actually be able to do something like that, the German style of play?
I'm pretty sure Klopp has done it in England, but I would think it would be easier to do in England because they have absolutely no style of play. In Italy, and I'm not bashing the English game. I just don't. I just think like guys like Klopp, guys like Pep, go there and expect something, and maybe sometimes even like overthink themselves, right? I think Klopp. Made the right purchases, convinced Liverpool of a project, and convinced Liverpool that he was going to be successful for them, and he was going to bring them back to where Liverpool board thought they should be, top of the English Premier League, and they even threw in a Champions League there. They waited 30 years for that, right? So they recycled so many managers and they tried so many things and so many wrong buys and wrong purchases and leaning on the Steven Gerrards and leaning on the and they've been successful, right? They were successful. They won some Champions League. They went away. Their main goal was that English Premier title, but it seems like Champions League came first for them both times, and now they capped this off this strange season. And in the end, I hate Liverpool just because of Istanbul, but I have to say that I'm happy for those fans. 30 years
but
are a
in
long
the
year.
end, but in the end, Steve, just like the Ronaldo couldn't do it after 1 year and took a year to adapt to Serie A, I don't see no Klopp, I don't see no Ragnick after 6 months, a year that they've fully integrated into the Italian system of play. I think
Klopp,
it will take time to adjust.
of course, Klopp, the guys here, unfortunately, in Italy, it's these articles that we've been talking about for the last 33 minutes that destroy the Italian game, right? It's a rumor on top of rumor on top of rumor, and I get that there's rumors in England as well. They have like a majority of tabloids that continuously print out stuff all the time. But in Italy, this is a perfect example. We have a coach here who's trying to do his work, Pioli. Is he the best coach in the world? Absolutely not. But after a pandemic, the strangest of situations, he's getting he's getting asked questions about his future successor, which is totally stupid, right? And I don't think someone like Klopp, Ancelotti, Mourinho, Guardiola would ever be asked that type of question because they would have that protection from the PR team. So that's what pisses me off.
And speaking of Pioli, and we actually have our first question en français. Mr. Steve from Bizak Ben Sadi saying, êtes-vous pour maintien ou le départ de Pioli? Que pensez-vous de son travail? So in English, what do you think about Pioli's work so far? And are you okay with him leaving? You know, and I'm gonna tie in my brioski of the week, Steve, is with all this bullshit, all these articles coming out. Pioli is been handling this like a true professional, right? For me, it's just like I just find that maybe he's been clicking with the players, right? I don't know, like to me, he's been doing very good. It would suck. It would suck for him to like make it to like 5th place and I don't know, come up with 7 wins out of 8, and then okay, we got to get rid of you from over there. And again, I think who was mentioning today is like if the guy does that, right? He's laughing all the way to the bank because I think it's to make it to Europa League. He's automatically re-signed for another year, so he's gonna get paid. But so far, so good for Pioli and really handling it like a gentleman, Steve.
Yeah, like a gentleman. Again, it's not going to be the first time. He had the tough time in Fiorentina. With another tragic incident here is nothing comparable to that, but just a screwed up Milan in terms of the upper management and lack of project and a lack of fucking PR team. That's for sure. For him to handle as a gentleman, but again, I'm still gonna go and I'm still gonna believe that. I think when all said and done, and I'll really be laughing, is if we have a situation where they can keep Ragnick and Maldini in some harmonized dual role, doing that job, and keeping Pioli at least for the next season, the start of the next season. We know everybody's leash is thin, but if he makes this Milan, who was almost at the halfway point, like 9th or 10th, it brings them to that Europa League spot, which I'm convinced that we're not going to play in whether we make it or not. I think he deserves. I think we're going to make again the same Gattuso mistake, which we shouldn't have made before. And again, I'm not going to hide the fact that I was against the sacking. No, just didn't think he could give us more. But I think we're going to break that whatever chemistry he's built in this post-COVID retarded season and start again limping next season, which is not good for Milan because we'll end up in the same situation where we'll end up with Vinny Gattuso's question: who's going to make it to 5th? Roma, Napoli, or Milan? I don't want to be in that group anymore.
No, wait, because Vince comes on to a Milan podcast and asks on Instagram, what do you guys think of Petagna and Boga this season? This is what he asks. This is what he asked the Milan Weekly Podcast. Vince, he's the best. He's the best. Boga is, he's playing fantastic, but I don't know what he would do like on a big team. Petagna is the same thing every single day, but I don't want to spend time talking about players from other teams. But
no, you have to. Okay, leave Petagna alone.
Petagna is
minestra riscaldata. I don't want the Petagna back, and I have nothing against the guy. He's great at Spal. He's gonna move on to some other club. I think he would fit great at Fiorentina. I think he would fit great at Sassuolo. But I don't think he could give more than that. But Boga is a player that we need to talk about because right now, this is a guy that is coming from that academy, that stacked academy at Chelsea. Sassuolo takes him on. Sassuolo gives him minutes in the Serie A. And not only does he contribute to these minutes, the guy is on fire. And we need that. We need Milan to look at this inner talent, whatever it is. We have that Locatelli sitting there deal that no one understood between Milan and Sassuolo, which we were trying to leverage for Sensi and didn't work out. I would start to think about leveraging that. I think he would be that dynamic player in the midfield where he can contribute on the offense and has Serie A experience and would be a fantastic signing for Milan.
But you know the way it works, Steve. As soon as we talk about a player, somebody else has to go sign him for triple the price, right?
Yeah,
That's
so
the way
it's
that.
that's the Napoli effect. As soon as
Yeah.
Milan wants someone, they're going to.
And he did sign the Napoli Patania. Thanks for clearing that up for us, guys. Guys, 43 live viewers. Wow. So I guess the live viewers goes as the team goes. Okay, so we have CEO Zatan saying, "Ciao, Vinny and Steve. If you can have a starting 11 of WWE wrestlers, who would it be?" I don't know if Steve might give you in the midfield the Iron Sheik. Maybe he's going to give you in the
No,
midfield.
my keeper is Bonanima of Eddie Guerrero
Why is Eddie Guerrero your goaltender?
because he's Latin and he's probably looks like he was very flexible, and I think he can make a save or two.
All right, so I would have went with Andre the Giant because he just has to sit in front of the
But see,
goal and just
that's why soccer is not for you. That's
exactly.
obvious the reason. As soon as you hit a low shot, how's he gonna bend down Andre the Giant?
True. I would go for strikers, CM Punk, and John Cena. CM Punk because he likes to get under your skin. He likes to pick at you, and John Cena obviously because you can't see him.
Can't see him. Exactly.
Yeah, in the midfield we have lumberjacks, Steve. And we have maybe the Iron Sheik for sure. He's our lumberjack in there.
Yeah.
Who else? Very quickly, who does I have?
I want Randy Savage. I want Bonanima of Randy Savage on the right wing back.
He's a right wing back, Randy Savage.
Yeah,
the Ultimate Warrior. He's our super sub. David. The Ultimate Warrior just comes in at the 80th minute. He just goes crazy. Goes directly from the goal. But what about one last one, Steve? I'll let you because you're not the wrestling fan. Who comes to mind?
Well, I'm going to put the two center backs, the Road Warriors.
Oh, I like it. Hawk and Animal, the Road Warriors. As you can see, Steve has been watching Dark Side of the Ring. Love it. Thanks for those questions. Now we need to move over to Twitter. Unless, Steve, you have any questions from our 42 live.
No, it's just going mental here. We're trying. You see, even Frank, for once, Freeway Facebook Frank, he agrees. Andre the Giant, too slow.
Yes. So you're going with... Gio, what do we have here? I'm going to go to Japan and buy Hayabusa on the cheap and make him a Fantasista. I like it. But you see, Steve doesn't know about Hayabusa. For Faz, he's hardcore. I don't know if you know. Steve, he used to go like to ECW shows when there was like 60 people, no air conditioning. He's that hardcore. Do you think the right back position and the main position we need to fill? No. Steve has been talking about midfield all these years, right?
No, guys, I'm telling you, you saw just from a little sub that happened. Conti out, Calabria in. Guys, Conti doesn't get enough credit, man. Conti did an amazing job.
He did. Yeah.
Amazing job drawing Lazzari offside. Amazing.
I think, Steve, people are more concerned of looking at Conti. What did he do wrong there? What did he do wrong? And it seems like we're not paying attention when he actually is doing a good job. But he had a fantastic game, yes, and putting him offside. But I definitely have to agree with you on that one.
We'll kill two birds with one stone, and we'll answer Maroc plays question. What did you think about Calabria? I think he's completely lost all confidence. I think his future is away from Milan because it's not working out for Calabria.
The Scelio 2.0, Steve. The Scelio 2.0. The Scelio was thought of more with more talent than Calabria because Calabria got his chance because Conti had gotten hurt, right? So I don't know, but no, Conti for sure. Let's take a look at here the Ask Vinny and Steve from T. Pipperoni. Okay, so T. Pipperoni, Ralph Ragnick agrees to become new AC Milan manager starting from next season. Confirmed, here we go. Okay, so Fabrizio Romano, big news that is confirmed for next year. Until we see anything, thank you for letting us know that something's happening. The whole story was that he was starting now. Trash Boat. It's been a while, Trash Boat. Heard the rumors of reindeer coming. I really don't like reindeer. I really don't like how it's going down. I feel bad for Pioli and Maldini, who are doing a great job. I hope we don't do the same mistake again with Gattuso. Ragnick is Gianpaolo 2.0. Your thoughts? I don't think we could talk about what Ragnick will do or not do because we don't know who he is. We know of him. We've read about him, but we're not going to sit here and start nitpicking and go, oh, well, this guy did this, and I think he's going to do it, until he shows us what he's capable of doing. I don't want to get into that trap, Steve, that, oh, but Giampaolo, un signore, un maestro del calcio, and he did this in Serie C, and we
Yeah.
all expected something else, right? I don't know if you
Yeah,
agree.
I agree. The Giampaolo thing, look, it was a progression, guys. And we say it at the beginning of the show. We're not professionals, and we don't pretend to be professionals. I
Mm.
love the game. I tried to watch. I tried to look at it with a bit of logic. We don't know what happened with Giampaolo, but the progression was there, right? Good stints at lower levels in Serie A in Italy. Good stints at mid-table clubs in Italy, doing the right thing, uh, progressing to Milan. Something just didn't work. And to be very honest, you, what we see with what's going on with Pioli and stuff, the stuff that's not going right, guys, is above the manager's head. And this is the thing with Ragnick that I hope gets fixed, is that up in the management there needs to be some serenity, there needs to be some peace, there needs to be a project being put into place so that we can continue to grow, or else we're going to be having this conversation for quite a bit of years. And to be very honest with you, maybe me and Vinny can take a couple of Mondays off, because we'll record the podcast, we'll let it run, and we're going to answer all your questions. Because if there's no project, guys, we're going to continuously have these conversations all the time.
But at least Tipa Baroni comes up and says, like, hope you boys are well and ready for the big game tomorrow. He just got engaged. You boys invited to the
Yes.
wedding. He put a picture
Hey.
that she's a Milanista as well. And him is asking, do you see Maldini remaining at the club next season? I think so, because I don't think he held off for 10 years just to leave after 1 year. I don't know if you agree. And I don't want to start discussing this because we could talk about this forever. You see him staying, Steve?
Who?
Maldini.
Depends. I don't look again. I like to read social media. I like to read the different articles. I take them with a grain of salt. I don't get too worked up about these things. I want to believe sometimes the things that I read that make me feel better. There was one article that was shared in the Milan Club Montreal chat, where it would leave Maldini and Ragnick in a dual role, where they would both have a conversation with what transfers they're bringing in. If that's the case, that's what I need, right? Because if Ragnick's going to be the manager, and he's going to be the direttore sportivo, and he's going to be the technical director, guys, there's three people in these positions at all the other clubs, because they demand three people, three intelligent people. And I'm not saying he's not intelligent. I'm afraid he's going to get to the point where he's making all the calls. There's no one that's going to be there to challenge him. You understand? Sometimes that taking that young that taking a chance on someone young, or bringing in someone with a little bit more veteran experience, needs to be discussed. There's someone needs to be the person who's going to be in charge needs to be surrounded with people that have ideas. And from what I'm reading, Radnick is coming over, but the team that he has in Salzburg is not, guys. They're going on, and they're taking their own career path. So this is very, very scary, man. Very scary.
Miguel is asking, this one is for Steve. What are your thoughts on the Salchicha Maker performance against Lazio? What do you think he brings similar to Castillejo, or what does he bring differently? So what would you say he brings similar to Castillejo? Like never giving up on the ball? I don't know if you...
Yeah, just the heart and the constant running after the ball. But I think Castillo has more skills in the final third, and I think he has a little bit more vision in terms of the other options.
Differently, I would say probably the crosses, Steve. I don't know
His
if like...
crosses they haven't been spectacular. We don't have David Beckham there, guys. We have
But they're better than Castillejo's crosses.
yeah, but the thing is that you could put in a cross, and someone's gonna have to get on the end of it. I don't think that's Milan's strength, man. We have had one about 2.4 billion billion corners this year, and we're never dangerous, man.
Hmm.
So the crossing is one thing. It opens up different options, and but Castillejo, when it's Sausage Maker, you know that he's gonna whip it across. When it's Castillo, you're not 100% sure he's gonna whip it across. So that's the difference between the two right now.
Keeping listening to you with all these names, I just picture next year if Ragnarok comes, we're gonna have somebody make a poster of Ragnarok, but it's gonna be with all the nicknames that you gave. There's gonna be
Yeah.
Salchicha Maker, Kajar, Ragnarok in the middle. Sabrina, another one just for Steve. If Gasparini were ever in conversation, what does he write? Has burnouts in the past because he does so much work. If Gasparini was ever in conversation to be Milan coach, what would it take for you to embrace him after Dancegate?
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen because you see the whole thing with Paqueta and Parolo at the end of the game. It seems like the media again seems to pick on Milan again, and made no respect for the game, no, and this and that. I didn't see any articles when Atalanta beat us 5-0, and the dancing elf, he got jibba-jived and decided to dance on the side of the field. Guys, because Atalanta is doing great doesn't mean that they don't do anything wrong. That was wrong. That was disrespectful to a team that has 7 Champions League victories, 7 Champions League trophies, a historic and a graceful past. Yeah, did we have an owner that was shady? Fucking right. And I bet you that all the other teams would have loved to have our owner, because when our owner was ready, he was ready to invest. He was ready to win. Did we really have a project back then? Probably not.
Just buy.
Yeah, we just bought and we won. Uh, and for Gasparini to dance all over us, Sabrina, to be very honest with you, I still have it really right over here. It bothers me every time I see Atalanta. I've lost a lot of respect for that club. They can do and they can buy and they can make profit all they want, but no one coming up and saying that what Gasparini did was wrong, for me, is unacceptable.
Christian Espinoza asks, start, bench, drop. Castillejo, Suso, Salsicha Maker. So start, bench, drop. So drop is going to be definitely Suso for you, Steve.
I drop Suso, I start Castillejo, and I bench Salsicha Maker.
Same there. Gigi Le Patat, I like this. Seems like coaches are taking advantage of these 5 substitutions at a game whereby different strategies different are deployed. Are you guys enjoying it and also favor making it permanent? I'm definitely for me to make it permanent. I love it because you have a lot more rotation, a lot more chance of seeing different players, a lot less chances of injury. But I don't know, Steve, have you found that there's maybe a bit more goals, or with this 5 substitutions? I enjoy it. I don't know about you.
I have no problem with it. I think that they already play a lot of games. They have a lot of people that are getting paid on their squads that are not really contributing. There's only 3 games there's only 3 changes per game. I think 5 opens up a lot of options, and 5, you're going to start seeing the coaches that could make in-game adjustments. 5 changes, you can change a lot in 5 changes. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, or Ole from Manchester United coach there.
What was his name?
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, no? Isn't that his name? He made 5 changes in one shot. So that's pretty cool.
Oh shit! Oh yeah. So okay, yeah. So 5, but no, I'm definitely in favor of that one. There, guys, make sure you take that audio clip there and send that to Manchester United. Evo, it's a long one, but we spoke about it again. I'm still going to read it out. Hi, gentlemen. I am asking again for another good game. Is it right to get rid of Pioli and give Ragnick so much decision power each year after we stabilize the team and make a step forward? Someone new comes, ruins everything, and we start from scratch. We did it with Gattuso, and couldn't even say that when we did it with Seedorf in the past after he achieved some good results. It seems to be some sort of self-destructive drive that we have regardless of who the managers are. Thanks, guys, for your amazing work. Thank you, Evo, for always listening in. And definitely, this has been the struggle for Milan, right? That 1 step forward and 2 steps back. Hopefully, we take another step forward tomorrow. Zvanko, I have one question for today. How was it decided that it would be Ask Vinny and Steve and not Ask Steve and Vinny? Alphabetically, S is before V. Or is it a pecking order based on age, based on skill, where Vinny is Donnarumma, Steve is Begovic? Please explain. To be honest, Zvanko, I remember when we did this hashtag, I was going to say Vinny and Steve. I'm like, no, Vince, you're going to sound like, I remember I still have that message. I wrote Presidente, ask Steve and Vinny. And right away, Presidente made his own hashtag and it's Ask Vinny and Steve, but no, there's no pecking order. We're at the same levels. Steve might be is more popular than me, but no, there's no big decision making.
You know what it is,
decision on that one.
Zvanko. The reality is that the Presidente put it through the marketing ringer. He had all these stats. He had the conversion rate on what the hashtag would be, if it would be Ask Vinny and Steve or Ask Steve and Vinny. And popular calculation and isometric shapes chose the Ask Vinny and Steve.
Juan Carlos Martinez, muchas gracias. Yes, screw the rumors. Let's just enjoy the remaining matches. I love that. And yes, we will have Tommy for next game, but we're going to have to put him we're all depending what kind of game we're going to have there. But we're going to see if we could, because he asked me, right? Because I called him about his, I don't know if you guys I'd forgotten about it, but I gotta go give him his special T-shirt.
Yeah,
but he's like, maybe on Saturday we're gonna see. He goes, yeah, but when are we doing the cadaver again? I have so many I want to talk about. I'm like, don't worry, Tom, we're gonna get there. And NYC to Milan. Why have they not signed? Okay, that we already spoke about. That's good. Humud. Hey guys, it's been a long time. I hope that you and your loved ones are healthy. Yes, we are. Thank you. Hope to you too. Team now is strong defensively. Kessi, Benacer doing well. Kajar, Romagnoli both singing by the day. Conte has the right mentality. Do you think Samu shouldn't start and keep Salamakers? Well, now it looks like all depending on this injury, this and that. But so far, he's been doing more than what's expected of him. So yeah, probably see what Salamakers does against a team like Juventus, and we'll go. I don't know, Steve, if you agree. Would you start if Samu's perfectly fine? You start Samu, no?
Yeah, he has to be perfect fine. The other question for tomorrow's game is Hakan Çalhanoğlu, and see if he's recovered from his twisted ankle.
There you go. But the guys, I don't know. I have a good feeling. I really have a good feeling for tomorrow. And the only thing I'm asking,
oh God, Vinny has that good feeling.
No,
the good feeling of death.
This would be. Let's say if it was back in the day, I would have let me go put some money on the game. But I have a good feeling that what I want, Steve. I just don't want a controversial game, win or lose. I just want us to be proud. That what we could accomplish and surprise. Am I saying that we're going to come out and win 3-0, 4-0? No, I just want to see the Milan that I've seen in the last couple of games. That's the only. Just no controversy, please, guys. Controversy.
What I would love to see is I would love to see the controversial of all controversial games. I would like to see one of Milan's goals go in and VAR be wrong again and count the goal and Juve loses 1-0. I would like them to get a piece of their own medicine. I would like to get them for them to have a stupid red card, like a dumb red card. Like Rebic got. Apparently, there's all kinds of dangerous things that are not being called. If I would have more time, I would have a full library of dangerous plays that I've seen in the past 3 weeks.
Steve, against Spal, was that not a handball in the 96th minute? We could have actually fucking pulled up that game, but if you actually see that was actually a definite handball. And I will say, against Lazio, Steve, I did not see that as a penalty. That's what I didn't understood. Do you agree? I'm sorry, guys, we didn't. I didn't like.
I thought that
it was like this.
I thought that it hit his arm here.
Yeah,
the arm that was it didn't. It hit the arm that was close to his thing. That cannot be a penalty shot. That cannot be a penalty shot.
But in the end, the better team won, right? David, tomorrow's Juve match was supposed to be the match Milan Club Philly traveled to back at Easter. Milan going to win it for us. Yes, I remember, David, you were organizing all that stuff from over there. But we will get together one of these days. I'm positive of it. And we do have to go to San Siro before they tear it down. Steve, I already gave my feel-good moment. My indigestion is going to have to be, honestly, this fucking snitch rat at Milan. I hope somebody grabs him and finds out who the fuck is talking like this because, anyways, that's my, this rumors and this clickbait and the social media age of today. It's just unfortunate. Even though you try to get away from it, it just follows you everywhere you go. My feel-good moment, my brioche was Pioli just handling this like a gentleman, not talking out of line, and that's it for me, Steve. I don't know. Do you have anything in mind for your feel-good moment? Your
Feel-good
indigestion?
moment. I'm gonna bottle them up together. I think it was positive from Spal and positive from Lazio. Those two games, I really liked them a lot. I didn't like I just like the result from Spal, but I like the performance against Lazio. My indigestion of the week is I can't understand why these professional soccer players can't take corners anymore. I've watched game after game after game, and you have one job when you're taking a corner, and they've showed it to you at the lowest levels of soccer. Once the little boy or little girl gets enough strength, his only job on a corner kick is to beat the first man on the post. That's all you gotta do. On a cross, on a corner kick, that's all you tell the person to do. It's not an art. It's not. Some people took it into an art, and Gigi Labatat, he's reading my mind. In the Inter game, Duara came in for Bologna, changed the game completely, but could not take a goddamn corner kick, and it was crazy. And so, and at Milan too, it happens all the time. We have Salsicha Maker can't beat the first guy on the post. How are you going to be? You could have 100 corners a game if you don't meet that first person.
I think we need the hand up again, Steve. Maybe to direct. By the way, I'm about to kick. It's just no. You're 100% right. It's very frustrating. Before I close off, Steve, we're talking about possibly Bret Hart being our captain on this starting 11. Who is our coach? Jimmy Hart or Mr. Fuji?
No, it has to be Jimmy Hart. It can't be Mr. Fuji.
The Mount of the South, Jimmy Hart.
Yeah, with the bullhorn and everything.
The bullhorn and everything, guys. Fucking fantastic. Over 40 people. I wish we can go through all the comments. Some new people that were commenting on here. Maybe one day we'll have money to buy a second, maybe a laptop to have just questions. Have somebody feed it to us. We really appreciate Bobby Heenan. Yes, sorry, Bobby Heenan, but he's a heel. He's the fucking ref. He's the referee for Juventus, Bobby Heenan. Midfield could have been Cristante and Locatelli of the season that are midfield. Sorry.
You know what? That's my brioche, man. That's my good thing. I don't want a midfield.
No offense, dude.
Yeah, Cristante has been completely invisible, and I don't know how he gets minutes at Roma.
Maybe he means it in the same way as us, like his indigestion. Say, like, thank God that we don't have those guys from over there.
I don't know, but you have to be a little bit more clear if you want to put in an indigestion.
Yeah, Locatelli and Cristante.
I'm not trading those two guys for Benacer and Kessie. Let me tell you that much.
Jim Cornette, David. Jim Cornette. He's a real fucking heel. But guys, honestly, thank you so very much. We appreciate it. Tomorrow, Steve, you're watching at home. Are you working?
Yes, I am working. I will be watching at home. There's a TV right there. No one sees my finger, but it's on the other side of the screen, down there.
Can I attempt to come over? The kid's gonna go crazy.
I have no idea. We'll have to see. It's at 3:45. No.
We'll figure it out from over there. Super Kick Party, yes, the Young Bucks, but they're we were going with WWE, Frank. We'll do an indie. We'll do an indie starting 11 one of these days, guys. Once again, thank you from everybody around the world, from Russia, from even Hamoud, from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia on Twitter. I love it, guys. Thank you for following us. Thank you for everything. We shall see each other next Monday, and hopefully with a couple of wins more in our pockets and celebrating. Ovunque e sempre.
Forza Milan!
Buonasera, guys.